it's time to go over some of the finer details.
This wonderful movie was released on September 14th, 2018, with a budget of $6 million, made back 1.4. So, once again, didn't even come close to hitting its budget. But I think, it was a very limited release, very artsy movie, starring Nicolas Cage. There's a connection now of like, oh, well, Nicolas Cage isn't going to make a movie that's worth me going to a little art house indie theater to check out. Yeah. I'll watch it when it goes to direct release, to Netflix or something. But this movie, I really wish I would have had the chance to see it in the theater.
Yeah, me too.
God damn. I think it would be amazing, especially with the soundtrack and the metal music and stuff. It would have been sweet. This was directed by Panos Cosmatos, which Vince said sounds like a Harry Potter spell. Panos Cosmatos. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not entirely sure.
It is, yeah. That's how you say his name, yep.
Who has only done one other film, which is the Serpent and the Black Rainbow, or
Behind the Black Rainbow?
Yeah, I think it's Behind the Black Rainbow.
Behind the Black Rainbow, which I haven't seen, but I really want to watch now. This was his first movie.
Apparently very similar.
Is it? Sweet.
To this. It's apparently very similar to Mandy, or stylistically.
It was 8 years in between that movie and this movie. So
he said it took him about 8 to 10 years to write this film, and he describes the difference between the two is like that first movie is like very claustrophobic, you're like very tense, so it's like you're always inhaling, and then he said that this was like an exhale. He was just exhaling all that anxiety and all that tension out, and I think that's pretty accurate. As this movie progresses, you definitely see it's like a force that just keeps moving.
Yeah. Written by Panos Cosmatos, and then Aaron Stewart also credited as a writer, which I have a few quick facts about Aaron Stewart On's interpretation of the film. But runtime's 121, so it's a little on the long side, especially for, it's like an hour and 15 minutes building to this incredible final act. But I really feel like those first two acts make the last act what it is. It makes it so satisfying after the first two.
It did not feel like a 2-hour movie.
No, I don't feel like a drug.
It flowed so well. No, it moves so well.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that 2 hours had passed when I finished watching it.
Music, of course, by the late great Johan Johansson. I think that's how it's pronounced, but who also did, of course, The Arrival and Sicario, bunch of things. Life cut way short, and he was like on the precipice of being like the next Hans Zimmer. Dude would be, if it wasn't for an unfortunate cocktail of drugs and flu medicine, he'd still be with us. Yeah. But unfortunately, we don't get to bask in that brilliance, which, by the way, like the Sicario soundtrack I listen to all the time. I love that soundtrack.
Same.
And his work in Arrival is incredible.
Yeah. God, that music was so good. It's a real shame.
Yeah. Over on the rating side of things, this has a 90%, which is crazy. A Nicolas Cage movie with a 90%.
A low-budget Nicolas Cage movie.
A low-budget horror movie. Technically, it's all over the spectrum as far as genre, but I would say the overarching thing is it's definitely a horror movie. But a Nicolas Cage horror movie that came out in the teens, the 2000 teens, that has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's incredible. 7.60 out of 10, 246 reviews. Metacritic score is 81%, so it's a little bit lower. And then the audience score is 66%, which is surprising. I guess, the critics took more time to kind of, see what this movie was all about, whereas the audience watches it and it's like, what in the fuck was that?
Yeah, I can get it.
The trick to really enjoying the movie is taking a tablet of acid before you hit play.
I found the trick to really enjoying it was just to stop worrying about the story and just watch the movie.
Yeah,
so I think if you're wrapped up in what's actually happening story-wise, it's it's whatever. It's not that great of a story. It's just the presentation of it. It's the way that you have to experience it rather than just break it down like we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I think it's much better just sitting back and just letting it play out in front of you. And not thinking about it too much.
Yeah, it's a visual journey for sure.
Yeah.
So I can get why some people were like, what the fuck? This is slow and boring and dragging on for not a lot of payback, or movie, or not a lot of story.
Yeah, Panos Cosmatos actually said in the behind the scenes that he feels like the best films are the simplest stories. So tell a super simple story, but then flesh out the rest of it with insane visuals and incredible music and just a whole vibe to it, and that definitely shows through here.
I've heard that he doesn't care as much about the story as much as he wants to present it. So that's basically how this plays out.
Yeah.